My name is Vanessa Oluwatoyin David Aladesomi. I'm the CEO of Vanda Oaks Integrated Services Limited. Vanda Oaks is the brand owner of Nessa's Nature's Garden, and I'm also the vice chairperson for NEW. That's the Abuja chapter, NECA's Network of Entrepreneurial Women, the Abuja chapter. I'm the vice chairperson. So at Vanda Oaks, we are into logistics, we are into supply, we are also into construction and interior decoration. We also offer corporate branding services for corporate organizations. And for Nessa's Nature's Garden, which is a brand under Vanda Oaks, it's about producing healthy beverages, flour, and also spices, which we sell to supplies to stores and also export. For NECA's Network of Entrepreneurial Women, we are a business support development organization that supports women in the NMSME sector, where we help women grow their business. In fact, we also train women who just have ideas but they don't have the experience. The experienced women in our association and hold women through the process of starting and also managing their businesses. The first feeling I got was more or less like going back to this classroom where you have to sit down and you have your lecturer teaching you. And that feeling is not misplaced, because that is exactly what I got in the program. Each time I sign in and I go into the class, I'm sure that I'm going in to learn something new, something different. Even though I have a procurement background and most of my experience is in procurement, but I've largely functioned in the private sector procurement and a little bit of public procurement. So, but I have this fear of really going fully into public procurement. But what the training has done is to reinforce the confidence that despite the fact that I'm a small business owner and a female, there is space in the procurement sector for me to also be a player. That is thanks to the affirmative procurement, all which we learned during the course of the program. And the things we have learned, or I have learned, is something that I now apply, because since the program stopped, I've been able to apply for bids on my own. I've heard about for example, the UNGM procurement platform where tenders are published, but I have never, since hearing about it last year or 2 years ago, I have never really gone on the site to apply for bids myself. But in the course of the training, I find myself having to do that and doing that with confidence that I know what to put in my bids. I know the supporting documents I'm supposed to use. I know my rights as someone who is a player in the sector. Being a part of the SWEEP, the community of women in the SWEEP program has been a new learning curve for me, because now I get to mix with women from all over the country, some virtually and some I met in the physical class. I've been able to establish new relationships with women of different age and in different businesses. I've learned to listen and be able to explain, be able to walk at their own pace to be able to achieve the common goal, one of which was the preparation for the mock presentation. It was really fantastic, and also it changed my view a lot, because yes, I've met dedicated women, but I saw a lot of women, young and old. I have somebody in my team that is over 60, and she brought to bear the same zeal as people who are younger, right? We've had meeting, most of our meetings are in the evening, and you don't see them rushing off to say, oh, I have other things doing, because they know that we have a project at hand that we all have to ensure that is a success. So it just reinforced my belief that when women come together, we can do so much more, and that each one should be able to hold one another and lift ourselves up so that we can achieve a lot more in the nation's development. For my business in the coming year, I'm already working on my plan, and the goal is to ensure that every working day I go online, go to all the links, the procurement sites that are links to procurement site that has been provided for us. Look for bids that I can bid for, even the ones I think I cannot bid for, that I think maybe is beyond my scope. I will always want to give it a try. I'm trying to set right now. I'm trying to set a goal, a target goal for myself. Maybe like a minimum of 5 tenders in a month for me to apply in 2025. So I'll do more in the public procurement sector next year. While we were preparing for our tax, we chose first, it was which bid should we put in for, because at the beginning there was this doubt that most of the bids looks as if they are insurmountable, they are going to take time and all that, or we don't have the technical know-how. We eventually settled for a bid from Universal Postal Union, which is not even a Nigerian company. And what they asked for that bid, from that bid, is a request for proposal on social media monitoring and management, which is highly technical. So initially the question was, how do we even get to know what we are quoting for, the softwares to use for those monitoring services? Then we have 2 of us in the team that have had experience in that line, though not international. But what we now did was to look for an individual, in fact 2 people who are in the tech space, and 1 person who had done something similar and still working with some other tech organizations to maintain projects similar to that. We had to bring the person on board as a team to tutor us, teach us on what we're supposed to put in the bid, and also how to present the bid. And it goes a long way to show that even if you don't know something, if you seek knowledge, you are bound to find it. As a female entrepreneur, one of the elephants in the room has always been financing. So we have this issue of, even if I put in my best, I put my best foot forward and I get the job or the contract, or I'm awarded the bid, how do I get funding to be able to execute the project? Because we know some banks actually accept LPOs to help fund projects. However, the gender puts a kind of limiting to it, because what will be asked from a man that a man can easily get is most times difficult for women. Either they are women that are not married, because marital status at times we've come to find out that also discriminates against success of accessing funds. What I will say, which most of the women in my cohort has mentioned, is if there's a fund set aside, either as a grant or just a pool of funds that women can access when they get this job, where they can tender the proof that they got this contract awarded to them, and that's exact funds they need or required to fulfill that purchase order can be assessed by them, and a refund or a repayment made after the program. It will go a long way to booster the confidence of women, so that we can go beyond looking for petty supply of stationaries or school uniform and go for what every other players in the field can apply for. As a woman, there is this doubt: you are a woman, can you do this? This contract is big, it's meant for big men, it's meant for big boys, and not, are you sure? Especially my experience on construction site, I have situation whereby you have artisans trying to doubt your ability. When you say this is how the client wants it, this is how you want it done, then you hear something like, I get your type for house, you know, that kind of thing. And this has always caused hindrance for women when they apply for jobs. They themselves already have that feeling that, I'm a woman, will I be given the job? I doubt it. So we will now find ourselves having to put in times 10 of what a man will show to prove that we can deliver on the job. I pray we get to a time whereby we can have equity on the field. Not just, I'm not asking for equality, I know that is a long shot, but if we can just have equity when they say this is the requirement for the job, the gender, whether male or female, should just be set aside, and you look at the capability or the experience of the individual applying for the job.